Swirler come to you with another video. I hope all is well. Yani, I always say to myself that even during like bad times, during yani bad situations, there's always a positive in that situation. No matter what, there's always a positive in the situation that we're in. This includes the situation with Western women, okay? And this doesn't just, it's not just limited to the Western Black American woman. This also has to do with the Western Continental African woman, the Western Afro-Latin woman, and also the Western Caribbean woman who loves to swirl. Now, the thing is that it's very different with us guys. For the most part, we're desired by other races. You know what I mean? We're desired in a way that is more so trying to build a home rather than a fetish. The only race that desires us as a fetish for the most part is white women. Okay. But if you look at an Asian woman, if you look at a Latin woman, for the most part, they're trying to build a family with us. Because they see that we do make good fathers. They see that we get their kids involved in sports. They see that we do things like that. Right. Whereas the opposite is with Black women. Black women, they desire other races of men, but those other races of men just look at them as like a fetish, as something exotic. Oh, let me try it out. Black women will say, oh, love is blind and love has no color. They will say these things all the time. As a matter of fact, I think one of the Black Lives Matter women, I think she's married to a Polish guy or something like that. I don't know. But I'm going to show you some examples of why, I actually thank Black women for swirling. You basically weed yourself out. You weed yourself out and make room for the traditional women who know what time it is. And I thank them for that. So here's a couple of pictures, and I'm going to play some videos, and I'm going to go over the commentary of those videos too. So, for example, here you see her say, "I bow down to whites only." Okay, and it's like, okay, cool, that's fine. Here you see this monkey serves whites only. And that's fine. That's fine. No problem. But if you only knew how they really felt about you. But let's go on. Let's look at the first video. I'm going to do a commentary on this video.
This. We want this. We love this. We need this.
First of all, listen to how annoying her voice is, too. This. We want this. We love this. We need this. And then you see the white boys. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. That's okay. You can have that. You can have that feeling about that. Okay. Just know that, put it this way. And I'm not trying to brag. Just know that Nas didn't make that song on accident that was unreleased. They wouldn't even let him release the song called Fear of the Black Man's Mandingo. They didn't let him put that song out because they knew what time it was. So you can, that's fine. That is completely okay with me. Now look at what she says about black dudes.
But this, we don't need this.
Okay, well, that's fine. So, this woman, she says she needs, wants, and desires white men. And on the other hand, she doesn't need black men. That's fine. Guess what? We don't need you either. And I actually thank you for showing your true colors, you know? And the sad thing is, Yanni, about these swirling women is that a white dude will not have to do much for them, right? Whereas a black dude has to do the world for them. The thing about us is this. We swirl because we were compelled and forced to swirl. Nowadays, talking to a Western black woman is like stepping into a minefield because of the delusion she's been fed. So we go where we were wanted. You guys go where, I'm talking about the Western black woman. You guys go where you think there's financial security and that it's easier to manipulate and use the man, right? But let's see what really happens, okay? Let's see what really happens with what you guys deem is better, but it's not really better. Let's see. Let's listen to her.
So abandoning your children is definitely not race, or it doesn't depend on your race.
Okay, well, first of all, you bought into that stereotype that black dudes leave their children fatherless. But the thing is, most of the time, there's two sides to the story. And sometimes, most of the time, these mothers hold their kid for ransom. Okay? Most of the time, they won't let their kid see their father for the most part. Another thing that needs to be understood is that you look at what PJ Washington is going through, and he wants to see his kid, but the Jezebel he chose won't let him do so. So what happens is the Western black woman has been fed this lie that, you know, white men make the best fathers and that white men make are the ideal fathers to have for their kids, but it's really the opposite. Sorry to say it, but and this is no disrespect, but this is just pretty much truth from what I have encountered. The most solid white dudes I have seen have been from Eastern Europe, have been from the old Soviet bloc. Let's face it, the American ones are American. That's just it. You know what I mean? But I see the most discipline from the Eastern European ones. And yes, they take care of their kids. That's where the discipline comes from. But she was fed the lie that, black men, they're no good daddies, this, that, and the other. When there's two sides of the story, and Yanni, the second side of the story usually has to do with the mother keeping the kid from the father. But let's continue.
Yeah. Well, fucked up that you think that just because a man's white, he can't abandon his children. But, okay. But yes, my ex is white. He was very, very abusive.
that's another thing too. You got to understand the psyche of them. While you may think you're doing them a favor by getting with them and things like that, they actually think they're doing you a favor, and you are actually going to be at their mercy. And most of the time, I'm not saying all the time, but most of the time they are abusive. You know what I mean? Because that's in their lineage. You know what I mean? Where do we get the word mulatto from? I'm just saying, right? So you guys think the grass is greener on the other side when it really isn't. You know what I mean? And it's the same for us too. Like sometimes really the grass is not greener on the other side. We've seen many examples of that with guys. But for the most part, we can bounce back. They can't really bounce back. She can't really bounce back. She already has a kid. And then if she wants a black dude's going to look at that and be like, oh, well, you already have a kid and you have a kid with a white dude. Nah, I'm good. I'm going to pass on that. Thank you. Come again. But let's continue.
And he abandoned me, this child, and the 4 others that we actually had together.
Dang, she got 4. Why didn't she learn the first time? Dang. She not only got 1, she got 4. That's going to be a tough road for her. Single mother, 4 kids, 4 mulatto kids who will probably grow up having identity crisis, finding themselves because they don't got a man in the house. Woo-wee. You know, I say this to say that when we decided to give women everything that they wanted, I don't know if they were prepared for the conditions that came with everything they wanted. Really. But because of that, they find themselves in this situation. I don't know if she's going to get child support or alimony or anything like that. Hell, I don't even know if she was married. But 4 kids is a lot of kids. But guess what? I guarantee you there'll be black women trying to guilt trip us into taking on the role of stepfather. Don't do it. Hold your line, keep your line, and realize that you're in a winning situation if you have no kids. This is the best thing. You know what? They really thought that Swirling was just going to get back at us, but they have to understand something. And I think they understand it, but they don't understand it completely. There's more women than there are men. So for every time you guys swirl, guess what? There's other women for us. There's more women for us. But 4 kids, why didn't she learn the first time? That's what I'm wondering. You know, learn the first time. But let's continue.
That I don't have in my custody because of being with him. So.
Now this is what really needs to be asked. Allah forbid that the system has them in their custody because he refuses to take care of them, and that they're in foster homes, because that's way worse. You know, Allah forbid that. Because the thing is like, Yani, you actually set that kid up for failure if you do some things like that. For the most part, foster parents look at their foster kids as a commodity and as a check every month. I've seen people try to do it before, and they look at it as a check. I've seen foster kids adopt African kids and abuse those kids. So a foster situation is bad. And usually group homes and whatnot, the kids run away and what have you. And they end up in a worse situation. That's why it's important for us guys to follow the Khabib Nurmagomedov blueprint and starve these Western women out of approaching. Because at the end of the day, I want for my brother what I want for myself. And what I want for myself is a solid family where I'm producing men and women and or women, you know, that are actually bringing a smile to my face because they were able to do something, for example, like the Wayans brothers, despite the white chicks movie and dressing as women. But when you look at Keenan Ivory Wayans, Damon Wayans, Marlon Wayans, those are all brothers and they're all millionaires, and their parents get to sit back because they produce those. When you look at a family like that, that's what needs to happen. When you look at LeBron James, solid family structure, kid is already playing basketball and dominating. That's looking at that type of family. That's what you need. That's what I aspire to. Now, granted, it will be up to my kid if he wants to box or not. But whatever my kids are involved in, I want to be able to have me there and their mother there involved. Not broken families like this where anything goes, you know, and these kids grow up and not feeling loved. You know what I mean? But let's continue.
White people or white men abandon their children too.
I don't know why you didn't think so. I want to show you guys some other stuff that I found. Okay. Serena Williams. Marriage is not bliss. Well, I mean, we saw marriage is not bliss with you when you came out with that crazy old makeup on that made your face look like a damn powdered donut. So you thought the grass was greener on the other side, and you married him quite quickly too. Whereas you probably were, you know, I don't know her personal relationship history, but chances are she was probably not serious with black dudes. You know, I'm pretty sure there were some who did want to marry, but she just didn't want to marry him. Now, let's look at this situation and pertains to my neck of the woods. Uganda woman abandoned by Chinese workers, left with babies. So I show these things to show you that, yo, they swirl because they're trying to get back at us and trying to prove something. They swirl because their homegirls are telling them that the grass is greener on the other side, and that is, you go, girl, you know, you get that money. For example, the Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, or whatever her name is, or his name is, you'll be surprised how many niggas or females said, we got the first black princess, but does her family really consider her, do her in-laws really consider her a princess? Or do they consider her a colonial subject? So I'm going to end this by saying this. Thank the swirling women for weeding themselves out. You look at who swirled even in Hollywood and how they ended up. Halle Berry swirled and now she's single, and she complained about her husband using racial slurs towards her. I believe Paula Patton was a mulatto, or is a mulatto. Robin Thicke, abusive to her. I'm going to give one more personal example. You know, I'm not going to say her name, but you know, to the Afro-Brazilian who, you know, I showed a little bit of pity towards, who actually came to my house crying about her white American zaddy who was abusive to her and stuff like that. And I let go ahead and boo-hoo for maybe like 25 minutes before I said I got things to do. This is also for you too, because at the end of the day, you were the one that said that you know, black men from all walks of life are not really fit for like a woman like yourself. And then, you know, I listened to it and I ignored it and went on with my life. And then you came back and I just pretty much gave you a little pity and then showed you to the door. This video's for you too, you know. And now you find yourself in a situation where nobody wants you because you went ahead and had a seat with him, you know. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, these swirlers are doing us favors. They're not doing themselves any favors. But anyhow, man, I just wanted to show you that video real quick. Let me just like look at how corny this woman looks again with this, you know. And she put this on TikTok.
This, we want this, we love this, we need this. But this, yeah, we don't need this.
Like, okay. I mean, look at her though. Look at how she looks. I mean, you know what? I'm just going to end this video because I got to go do my miles. You know what I mean? But, you know, we're winning, bro. We are winning. At the end, if you are following the Khabib Nurmagomedov blueprint, working on yourself, gathering your resources, stacking your money, educating yourself, learning new words, learning different terms with maybe words you've heard before, then you're winning. I just found out what Altaki means. I've never heard that word in my life before, but it relates to me. But anyhow, man, that's all I got for now, guys. Y'all leave your thoughts and leave your comments. Full signing out. Njarama.